about black people in Cuba having leverage in that government. There was concerns about that.
Well, there was concerns about black people having leverage in the government here.
Yeah. But it was big time. It was called to annex Cuba. It was a long time. It was called to annex Cuba. Cuba was just the country.
Cuba, like the Kennedys call it, Cuba.
And there's a ton of black people down there too. I would like to go there, man.
Man, I've told people all the time. I said, man. It was surprising to me because I was a youngster and I loved baseball growing up. And I saw some kind of a documentary years ago.
Right.
I was a little thing when I was, playing baseball and stuff like that. I saw these fucking Puerto Ricans that had darker skin than me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell are they? They were Puerto Rican.
Yes.
Spoke Spanish, man.
Yeah,
they were Puerto Rican, just like right now. Me, I am considered American because that's what's been established.
Yeah,
and if you were to go back, like we talked about earlier, you had the indigenous people here.
Yeah,
who don't give a damn about Thanksgiving.
Oh no, they
nor Columbus Day. Oh my goodness, man! I lived out in South Dakota for 7.5 years altogether.
Yeah.
And you want to fire up some fucking people? You just talk about Columbus Day, or you mentioned Columbus Day.
What was this again?
This is in South Dakota.
Yeah, I told you about my cousin. The problem he had in Oklahoma with the Native American lady in the store.
What happened?
She was so cold to him. It was just obvious. She was so cold. I was telling you about earlier about some people hold on to have long memories. And he was in Oklahoma, and he said, damn, why in the world she was treating me so cold? He went and asked somebody about it, and that person says, well, he said a lot of them hold that bitterness towards black people because the Buffalo Soldiers were used to track them down. This is generations now past, and you think that, to me, having a long memory towards bitterness like that, it's not helpful.
It's not helpful. The history of it, I still want to know.
Yeah, you still want to. Yeah.
The history of it, I still want to know. But the bitterness of it, it's like when I go out here, I have no issue with a white person in a general, any kind of interaction sense. None.
You collaborate. I collaborate with a lot of them, and me tell you what, we called them brothers, right? You were in a predominantly white church. I was in a predominantly white church, so yeah.
They wouldn't let you marry each other.
Well, the church I went to, your church was different.
No,
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They frowned upon interracial marriage as long as it wasn't white and black. Now, we did have an interracial couple in the church that I was in South Dakota,
right?
And nobody kicked them in the ass. But it's not encouraged.
Well, thing about it, the way I feel, if you love somebody, if that person you connect with, go for it, man. Shoot. People like, kind of, you gotta look for someone in your own race, man. You know what? If you find someone that you love and that you connect with and they make you feel good, shoot, go for it, man.
Somebody you don't have to fuss with all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it might come up once in a while, but when you just all the time at each other, I don't give a shit what color they are.
You live your life.
And race is just this fucking social concept.
It is.
We're the human race.
Yeah.
And my skin color, because you bleed blood, I bleed blood.
Yeah.
My blood might come out B positive, yours might come out O.
Yeah. I know mine. Yours B positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine might come out O. They should have put it on your dog tag.
Yeah. I forgot about what
and mine might come out old, but the thing about it is it's still blood, because the fact of the matter is, even though if I'm on an operating table and I can't take B negative, I can still fuck a B negative woman and make a kid.
Yeah, is that crazy? And that kid will have, check this out, an interracial kid would just be just as smart, just as,
or just as dumb.
Just as dumb.
They can be just as stupid as hell too. Yeah. You got those ones as well.
I hate the term race. I don't even use it anymore. I think my kids kind of like go, don't even use it anymore, because I understand that it is a construct that we have now, but it doesn't mean that I have to.
You don't have to abide by it.
Yeah, I don't have to judge people by that. I don't have to sit back and say, hey, this is a black person. He's cool. This is what. That's stupid. You remember the Shaft, that little thing, and Shaft kind of like held like a guy held like a piece of paper. Shaft held a pen. He said, "You're not black."
Yeah, and then Shaft picked up a coffee cup.
Yeah,
and said, "You ain't that white."
Yeah. Those are just doggone things that people use to try to identify themselves with, And
then that's where that superiority or that inferiority is brought in to have that push and pull, that tug and pull against each other, which has just been the way. And that's not only here, that's even in India.
That's in India. That's in Philippines. I know a couple there that their daughter was kind of like this, frowned upon because she was darker. That's, and then goes a different way because Bob Marley down in Jamaica, his wife Rita didn't want nothing to do with him because he was light skinned.
And they claim his daddy was actually white.
His dad was white. Yeah, his dad was a guy that got around.
His daddy
tipped through the Marleys, before Bob Marley became big, the Marleys was a famous name for white people. But that dad, boy, I guess like father like son, because Bob Marley sure sold some wild oats out there, man.
I got to work with his the Wailers.
The Wailers?
Yeah, I got to work with the Wailers, man. I think there was only like about 2 people who were still original Wailers.
Yeah.
From back when they worked actually with Bob Marley, and then they had the younger.
Yeah, Peter Tosh kind of like left there. He was too radical, man.
They had the younger troop, but I think a few of them had died off, and some of them just gotten too old and didn't want to have no more to do with being on the road like that no more, or whatever. But I got to work with Bob Marley and his Wailers, and the one original guy, he came out and I met him, and he just wasn't up for being up that early in the morning to try to perform, so he left the young troops to do it. I said, I don't blame you, man. There are days I don't want to get the fuck up for work either.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to just pull myself together to want to be here. So I understood, these guys are goddamn, they're going into their 70s, or if they're not already in their 70s, man. Man, I just realized that Mick Jagger is like 72.
Yep, 72. Yep.
And he's still running around, strutting around on stage, doing his act.
Right.
It's almost like that's all he knows to do to make money.
Yeah,
that's what he
I
knows
can imagine
to
he's
do.
probably rich as anybody, because think about all the royalties. He's still getting his music being played.
Man, that's if everything was put in place right.
Yeah, but usually those British do a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's if everything is put in place right, because
they a lot of times they're not like American record companies, man. Like i.e. New Edition.
What's that one group that was called? It was working with Pebbles and
TLC, Billy Joel.
A lot of those American companies, American record companies just screw people.
I think the British record companies were a little more, from what I could tell, from the little bit that I know. I could be wrong, I don't claim to be an expert in that area at all. Lawyers, I'm not an expert in. I can't think of any area that I'm an expert in. So, but anyway, the British companies seem to be a little more moral about that, in some ways.
Integrity. They had a little bit more integrity.
Maybe integrity, I think, I haven't heard the complaints from a lot of these companies, especially those early companies. like you hear from,
Motown,
yeah.
Barry Gordy was a bastard.
Parliament Funkadelic, what's the guy's name?
got
Bobby
fucked over.
Royale didn't get his money,
Creedence Clearwater Revival got fucked over.
Really?
Oh yeah, man, big time.
Wow. This might have to be split up into
Big time, man.
Man, you know what? This might have to be split up into two.
Big time. Oh, I thought your deal was going to go off and
It
sound
did go
alarm.
off, man. First, I extended to 7 minutes. I have a new Apple Watch.
We got the Apple Watch going on. Dick Tracy. I'm here right now. Yeah, Dick Tracy type stuff, man. Who'd have known that was going to happen? I've heard that that Star Wars, some of their applications that they used in that in the show is probably not probable, but it wasn't inaccurate.
Wow. I know Star Trek has influenced a lot of things as far as technology that we see now. It is hard to predict technology down the line. This Apple Watch, the reason why I got it, I talked to you earlier about it, wasn't because I felt that I need to have one, because I don't feel that I need to have one.
A new toy.
I got it as an investment to keep this joker for about 20 or 30 years, pass it down to my descendants, and me tell you what, somebody out there is going to be looking for a first generation Apple Watch and willing to pay thousands of dollars for it. That's what, it's an investment. Anything you do. Guy that had the first Mac. I mean, someone had a Mac and they sold for almost
shit was made out of wood?
Something like that.
The shit was made out of wood and looked like a calculator.
How much it sold for?
Over $1 million or something.
Yeah, you look at that stuff, man. It's I can see why having a watch like this is useful for one thing. It kind of like relieves your iPhone a lot. A lot of times you use iPhone like who just messaged me? Who let me send this message, whatever like that. The watch kind of helps you take care of that. It has a lot of potential there. To be this.
Show that motherfucker again. No, just show it. Just put it up and show it. Just put it up and show it.
And what's so cool about it is, when you turn it to, you probably see a lot of demonstration of it, but it's kind of weird. You see how it is now? Watch this. You see when you turn it to yourself to look at the time, it shows
it's all
it.
Showing it.
Yeah, it's showing it. But when you turn it away,
show you turn it away.
Okay, let's see here.
Sit down and just hold your arm up and go like that.
Okay, I turned it towards me. Can we?
Well, this is some retarded shit.
Yeah.
Bring it back like that. Goddamn, we fucking apes. Fucking monkeys. We can't do shit.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, well, yeah, I can. Okay, but it's okay. It does okay. I think this helps a little bit. I think. Or hurts? Which one? Helps or hurts?
I don't know which one is doing right now because we didn't see the fucking watch at all, so that might be hurt.
There's a few demonstrations out there, but it is. Let me tell you what Apple does is so good. They will sit on a piece of technology for years until they're able to mature it, and they'll release it. That was Google Glass. Google had the little glasses. That's what they screwed up at. They came out
too soon.
Too soon. They put it out there. People weren't ready for it, and then it just kind of died on the vine. It might be still alive, might be viable, but I guarantee you, Apple probably has doing research right now on the glass version themselves, and you might not see it for another 10 years. They sat on the operating system of the iPhone for years. They had this.
Wow. Yeah.
They came to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, well, let's wait until the money, the technology caught up. They wait until the price came down where it's affordable. Those guys, they are persistent in what they do as far as development, man. They don't push it out there. They wait till it's mature and then they release it, I'm not saying they hit home run all the time, but as far as all the big tech companies that does this stuff, they're the best, man.
I tell you what, man, I was a Droid fan for the longest time. And I'll still do a Droid.
Droid is kick-ass, man.
I'll still do a Droid, believe me. Right. But I'll tell you what, man, I don't know, because I didn't realize that Droid didn't do FaceTime.
Well, they have a Google version of...
See, that's what I was wondering, if there was a way that you could do it. Because I was told Droid don't have FaceTime. Now I have an Apple phone now. This is an older Apple phone.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 4.
You can use Skype on the Android.
And I've heard that too, that you
Google.
can use Skype. You can use Skype to do those certain things.
But FaceTime might be from Apple ecosystem. It is probably a little cleaner experience, I think. And, you know, I haven't had an Android phone. I had the first Android phone that was available for the market. That was the G2, I believe, with T-Mobile. I loved it, man. Battery life was awful, but I loved that phone. That phone, you know, I was a BlackBerry person for a long time.
BlackBerry was the thing.
Yeah, BlackBerry was it.
BlackBerry was the thing back in the day, man. I remember everybody
Did you ever have a BlackBerry?
No.
I had a BlackBerry.
Everybody who had a BlackBerry was the shit.
I had BlackBerry after I had an Android. I kept a BlackBerry. I had 2 versions of a BlackBerry. I can't remember the name of it, but I loved it, you know, and then when I realized that, hey, you know, BlackBerry is not durable enough physically. Can't take a beating. I went and got me an iPhone. You know, I got an iPhone 5. I had that for about 2 years, I think. So I could you know, the thing about it, things don't have a lot of water in it from perspiration. I was sweating so much and talking on the phone, water got in it. I tried to dry out with a bowl of rice, but I didn't have the patience. You know, you had to wait till you had to do it for over a weekend for that.
The thing about it is, with your perspiration, there's other stuff in there. Because, like, if you drop, you know, I work in audio and electronics type stuff. You know that. These motherfuckers don't, but you know that.
Right.
And we have we have wireless microphones and stuff, right?
Right.
And sometimes people go to the bathroom and drop the fucker in the toilet.
You know, I was thinking about, you ever see the Naked Gun? When the guy
I've seen it.
You see one,
but I don't remember it.
When he had the wireless microphone and he walked into the bathroom and he started whistling as he was taking the piss.
You get that. You do get that.
And then he ripped one at the end.
And you do get that. That can happen where it even comes out on air.
Yeah. And people just sitting down in the conference meeting listening.
Yeah, and listen to you. That happens, man. That can happen.
Oh, God.
It can happen.
But
me as a professional, I try not to let that happen.
But people actually drop this.
The phone's transmitter, because they forget they have it on, and they usually clip it to their ass, and they go, and the motherfucker drops in the toilet.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill the electronics.
Yeah.
Plain water doesn't kill it.
Right.
Plain water doesn't kill it. Now, if they go and piss in it at the same time or shit on it at the same time, now you got issues, because I ain't touching the motherfucker.
Right.
Because I ain't going to try to. But if you just let it dry out, it'll come back.
So the poop molecules probably going in.
And then when you're talking about... Exactly. And then when you're talking about talking on it with the phone, you got sweat with all of this. The everything that's in your system that's coming out of there, especially the salt.
Yeah, salt. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You probably can see it on here, man.
Yeah.
If you look at it real good, you can see
that stuff. Now, that could damage it if it gets too deep into it.
Because I plan to keep this for about... this is not first generation iPhone, so shoot.
That'll
It was a first generation iPhone. Yeah, I'll probably.
I don't know what this is. This is just a 4.
4, yeah.
This
I thought
is a 4.
The very first one that looked like a brick almost, man.
This is an iPhone 4. It does the job. I get my phone calls and.
Well, yeah, I mean, it feels like that. So some people feel like they have to upgrade their phone every year.
I don't think so. I mean, it does what I feel it to do. It text. It gets my phone call. I can phone call out. And you know, for the longest time, man, I wouldn't even have a fucking cell phone.
Right.
You know that. I didn't even care to have a cell phone.
You can function without it. Some people don't have it. You want to talk about this baby right here, man?
Show that baby. What is that? Talk about it.
It is a Taurus PT-22. Yep, it's clear. That's how you clear it. It's a flip front. You know, you put your bullet.
Was that 22 long?
22 long, yeah, 22 LR. So it holds 8 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber here, so 8 plus 1. So it's very loud, very loud.
But it's light.
It is light. It's light.
I mean, it's light, man. You could just throw that in your pocket and haul ass.
Yeah. One review I heard, it says a good third option. That's a damn third option.
Yeah, that would be something like a cop would have. This would be something like a cop would probably have, like on their ankle or something like that. You know what I mean? Or somebody who works in some kind of a situation where they have to be protected or protect themselves or somebody else. So that's part of their job to protect. But it seems like cops don't protect no more. They just fucking protect themselves from somebody who just...
Oh, you saw the video about the guy was recording the cop? And he was in front of his house and the cop came to him and the cop came out, had it out, man, had his piece out.
Oh, yeah. I sure did see that. They
suspended him.
It's a good thing. And guess what? That was a white cop doing it to a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just pulling his bully bullshit.
Yeah, just
pulling his bully bullshitting ass ways that cops feel that they have the right to do, to fuck with you because they think that they are in charge of your fucking life. Your fucking life. That's what cops think that they are in charge of. And none of them are no better than the fuck anybody else that's out there. They're so fucked up themselves. Cops are just pieces of shit as well. Most of them have criminal fucking minds. Yep. The only thing about it is they just didn't happen to cross that line to where they were able to become a cop. But most of them are fucking criminals them fucking selves. Or with the mindset to become criminals or to hurt people or to do nothing. None of them want it because they're not... Cops aren't fucking trained to be psychologists or to just kind of talk or whatnot. They're not trained to be that. They're trained these days that their fucking life only matters, and they're this brother sisterhood blue line.
Right.
And all the fuck that matters is that they go back home to their family. Killing fucking people with Down syndrome. Killing fucking schizophrenics who just want to keep their fucking shoes, who are homeless people who just want to keep their fucking shoes. And they might have just upset somebody at a grocery store because they were standing around talking to themselves too damn much. Cops will go out there and just fucking kill them. Beat them up. Mm-hmm. All of this kind of stuff. I was almost wanting to become... Well, I was a cop in the United States Air Force.
Right.
And I was wanting to become a civilian cop. Mm-hmm. Until I heard a lot of the shit that I heard civilian cops saying when I was just doing some ride-ons, ride-arounds with them.
That was up in South Dakota.
South Dakota.
I tell people about that, which is...
When I was just up there in South Dakota here, because let me just be frank with you. Up there in South Dakota, the natives, the indigenous Native Americans were the niggers up there. When my dark black skin rode with who was generally white guys, Anglo-Americans, Anglo-Saxon guys, they felt it was okay to speak openly around me because I was myself considered a part of the fold. Right. as a cop looking to become a cop.
Right.
So to them, saying derogatory, negative shit about the indigenous natives of this fucking land, mm-hmm. They said some shit that I said, that's the same fucking thing they said about me when I was growing up in the South. Mm-hmm. That's me. Mm-hmm. That's me.
Right.
That is me. I could not go along with that shit, man. I was like, I could not go along with that shit. What the hell? I'm supposed to sit here and think because they'll tell me they'll talk about a man. If I pull over somebody and I walk up on them and this little cute blondie, I'll let her go. If it's some fucking Native American girl, I'm gonna try to jam her up with every fucking thing I can get on her.
Damn.
What the fuck is that? That's what I learned growing up, man. My brother was a fucking gun was put to his head. My brother never seen 6 foot nothing in his life. And there was this APB out on the black man. Don't tell how dark or tone his skin is or whatever, with the hair length. Nothing like that. What he's wearing is just a fucking black man. That's all that went out on the wire. A black man just robbed someplace. Right. My brother's walking down the railroad tracks to get home because that was the most direct route. You didn't have to fucking go out of. He's walking down the railroad tracks, and these motherfucking cops jumped out of the car looking for somebody. Now, they did say that the height might have been about 6 foot something. And my brother in high school might have been 5'6".
Right.
At the most in high school. These motherfuckers pulled up and just threw him down and dropped the hammer on his fucking head with the gun. Pulled that hammer back and just held him down. And happened so back then, I played baseball with a couple of brothers, and we talked about them earlier. Their grandmother died of strep throat. We talked about them earlier in one of our episodes. His dad just happened to be a cop on that force. Right. Black guy. Black family. And wound up responding after, all of the stuff had happened. And he responded to it. And he realized that was my brother. He went the fuck off on those guys, man. Because he was mentioning the same things that he was saying. He was like, this guy look like he's fucking 6 foot to you? Does he look like he's about 30 years old to you? He's a fucking teenager and all, and you're gonna push him into the fucking rocks and dirt and put a damn gun to his head and pull a hammer back when he wasn't fucking resisting?
Damn.
What the fuck are y'all doing?
That's the culture, man. That's that.
Now, just imagine if it was a cop that was fortunately in that particular situation that didn't even know who my brother was, just because my brother never used to take me to baseball practice every day and pick me up from baseball practice every day. He was about 16 years old and I was only about 9. So he would come and take me to and from baseball practice and stuff like that. So he got to know the family. The family got to know all us. Right. And him being a cop, he realized, and he quit being a cop. He quit being a cop and went to driving city bus.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't, for some reason, don't quit. It's just like, I know there must be that retirement.